There are moments in life when something feels off, but you ignore it. A strange interaction, a weird coincidence, a person you wish you never met. And sometimes, that's all it takes for everything to go wrong. These are 3 true horror stories about encounters that started normal and ended in pure terror. I unfortunately had to move back in with my family after my most recent breakup. My boyfriend and I had been living together in Boston in an apartment we had just signed a lease for, and if I could give one piece of advice, never sign a lease with someone you recently started dating. He was not the person I thought he was. My parents live in western Massachusetts, and if you know the area, the farther west you go, the more rural it gets. I'm not really a country person. I prefer being near a city, especially in my 20s. But for now, I was stuck there temporarily until I could afford my own place again. I got my old job back at an urgent care I used to work at. They were happy to take me back. The only issue was I got a lot of overnight shifts. They weren't hard, just boring, and they completely ruined my sleep schedule. One morning I got off work around 4 a.m. I stopped for gas at a Shell station on the way home. The place was almost always empty at that hour. I went inside, paid cash, and came back out. That's when I noticed another car had pulled in. A blue sedan. A man got out and started fueling next to me. At first, I didn't think much of it. Then he suddenly walked over. "Hey, want to see a funny trick?" I already didn't like the situation, but I still responded. "What trick?" He smiled and started doing that stupid finger trick, pretending to pull his finger off his hand. He kept staring at me while doing it, like he was waiting for a reaction. I gave a fake laugh just to end the interaction, but he didn't leave. He just kept doing it. When my tank clicked full, I finally pulled the nozzle out and rushed inside. When I came back out, his car was still there, but he was gone. And strangely, the fuel pump was still running into his car. That didn't sit right with me. I got into my car, locked the doors, and checked the back seat before leaving. I made it home in about 5 minutes, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something about him was wrong. Later that night, I was finally eating my early morning dinner. I used the spare key my parents hide outside to get inside quietly. I didn't want to wake them. While eating at the kitchen table, I suddenly heard something. The front door unlocked, then opened, then closed. I stopped chewing. "Mom? Dad?" I called out. No answer. No footsteps. Nothing. My stomach dropped. I slowly walked to the foyer. It was empty. I ran upstairs immediately and opened my parents' bedroom door. They were both asleep. I told them someone had just entered the house. My dad didn't hesitate. He got up and ran downstairs. I followed behind him as he turned on every light in the house. When he checked outside, his expression changed. The spare key was gone. Now we were all fully awake. He searched every room. I checked upstairs, closets, my brother's room. Nothing. Eventually, I ended up near the dining room. It was right beside the front door. Something made me stop. I slowly got down and looked under the dining table. And that's when I saw him. The same man from the gas station, crouched under the table, staring directly at me. For a second, I couldn't even move. Then I screamed. My mom screamed too. My dad rushed in immediately. What happened next was chaos. The man fought back, but all 3 of us attacked him. Eventually, he managed to break free and ran out of the house. We called the police right away. They arrived quickly, but the man was already gone. The spare key was never found. That night, a police car stayed outside our house. The next morning, my dad replaced the front door lock, and after that, we never hid a key outside again. But I still can't forget what I saw under that table, and I still wonder, did he follow me home the entire way, without headlights? I've always preferred driving at night. Less traffic, less stress. One night, I was on a long road trip down the East Coast. I left at around 2 a.m. to avoid traffic completely. By around 4 a.m., I got hungry and exited the highway when I saw a Wendy's sign. The parking lot was almost empty. Something about it already felt off. I pulled into the drive-thru, but no one responded. I waited. Nothing. I checked my phone. The place didn't even open until 6 a.m. Then suddenly, knock, knock, knock. A man was at my window, smiling. He told me his car battery was dead and asked for help jump-starting it. His car was parked near the woods. I didn't feel good about it, but I agreed anyway. We connected the cables, but his car didn't start. He made a phone call, speaking quietly in Spanish, then came back and said to try again. That's when I heard it. Engines. 2 pickup trucks entered from both sides of the parking lot. They blocked me in. Instantly, I knew something was very wrong. I disconnected everything and ran into the woods. I could hear shouting behind me. I ran until I tripped and fell. Then I stayed completely still, hiding in the dark. The voices slowly faded. Then, my car alarm went off. When I returned, the trucks were gone, but my car was destroyed. My rear window was shattered. Everything I owned was stolen. Clothes, bags, everything. The police later told me the cars had fake plates. The trucks had none. They were never found. I drove home completely silent, and I've never trusted empty parking lots or strangers asking for help ever again. Some people think danger always looks obvious, but sometimes it starts with a smile, a question, or a moment you decide to ignore your instincts. And by the time you realize something is wrong, it's already too late.